need you to understand that outside of very few circumstances, in 2022, if you were broke, this is 100% down to your choices that you've made. We just went through the easiest period in all of human history to get rich. You literally got handed the easiest set of cards in the game of life and fumbled it. To help you fix your current situation and get you to where you want to go, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 reasons you're broke and how to fix them. I have many friends who, during the beginning of COVID, were flat broke and have now got to a position where they have 100% total financial freedom. I have one friend, he put all his money into learning the skills and surrounding himself in the right circles to now go on to make hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. Even myself, I had $200 to my name because I had put all my money when COVID had hit into a program to learn high ticket sales. And now, again, total financial freedom because of the risks that I took. But most of you listening know this. You know that there's some problem going on. There's something going on that you're not doing right that has caused you to be broke. You understand this. The number one reason that you are broke is that you pivot from business to business before you even get a chance to make the business work. This is one of the biggest problems I see. And this happens with a lot of my friends as well who are trying to make money. They find a business they want to do, e-commerce. They do e-commerce for 1, 3, 5 months, right? I haven't got a client. I haven't made any money yet. I've only made $100. I'm not sure if e-com's for me. Man, I find it hard to study. And what they do is after 5 months, when they get close to actually making it work, they move to another business. They pivot before they even made it work. And then they'll give up. They'll want to do something else. They'll go chase the next get-rich-quick scheme. Making $1 million is the equivalent of getting on the international team for a certain sport, right? If you want to make $1 million in the next 4 years, you are going to have to get at the same level as being an international competitor in sport. The problem when someone gets to 2K a month and gives up is it's the equivalent of getting to the nationals and then deciding, you know what? Competing in nationals for swimming isn't for me. I'm just going to go learn how to play basketball. They were so close to getting to the internationals where the big money's made. And they could have done it if they just committed to that one sport, that one business they were doing. But instead they gave up and they lost all the momentum they had built up. The hardest time in business is when you're not even making $1. The hardest dollar you'll ever make in business is the first one. And that's why most of you fail, because before you make the first dollar, the first $1,000, the first client, you give up and you pivot to some other business. And you never give yourself the chance to get past that first toughest part, which is the first dollar, first client, whatever it is, where you really achieve the growth. Because getting from 0 to 2K a month is harder than getting from 2K a month to 10K a month. Even though 0 to 2K is $2,000 and 2K to 10K is $8,000. It's obviously a big price difference, right? But the truth is, once you get to 2K a month, you know how to get clients. You know what you're doing is right. You have proof of concept. I put in 20 hours today to getting a client and it worked. So you have a positive feedback loop for work you put in. You put in 20 hours of work today, you get a client, you made money. Your time is now worth money because you have clients, you have money, you have income. Reason number 2, you act with a scarcity mindset, not an abundance mindset. When I began my online business journey, I spent about $7,000 Australian dollars, which was all my money, on a program to learn high ticket sales to sell for businesses to make my first online business or online income. When I did this, I was shitting myself because my entire life, I always had a little safe, $10,000 in my account. When I was 15, I had maybe $5,000, right? And my family, that we just built it up. I worked the job since 15, doing surf school or Segway instructor was one of my jobs, or working in a cafe as a dish pig, as they call it. And I always had a safe amount of savings. Let's say 8 years of my life where I had safety. I decided to break it and I spent it all and I put it all into this program to learn high ticket sales. This was one of the ballsiest things I've ever done because it was all my money and it broke a lot of the mental safety nets that I had, because I always knew no matter what went wrong, it doesn't matter. I had, $5,000, $6,000 in my account, I'll be okay. But this broke that, and it broke it in the best way possible, because when you don't have any money and you know that you've gone all in and you know that you've put everything on the table, you give it your all. I literally have never felt so much motivation, energy, drive, and passion, and just almost a sense of desperation. Now, obviously there's risks in life. But at the time, what was I, 20? When you're 20 years old, the greatest risk is making no risk at all. Because if you don't risk anything, you're going to get to 25, 30, 35, 40, and you're going to be in the same situation that you were when you were 20, except now you've got kids, now you've got a wife. Now, if you take risks and you fail, you look like an idiot. because you're 35, you should have your shit sorted out by now. When you fail at 20, that's okay. You're 20 years old, you're an idiot, no one cares. So the greatest risk is taking no risk at all, and you need to act with an abundance mindset. You need to be taking risks, smart risks. You need to be investing in yourself. I need to save all my money, I can't spend any of it. Because everyone who I know personally, every single one of them, they always act with an abundance mindset. The third reason that you're broke is that you're surrounded by losers. Most of your friends do drugs every weekend, drink every weekend, have no ambitions for their future. They are comfortable working a 9 to 5. And you are the average of the 5 people you're around most. So if you spend all your time around these people, you are going to become that person just by the absorption of the energy around you. It doesn't mean start talking to millionaires. It could be something as simple as start associating with people who are trying to change their life. It could be as simple as attending a networking event in crypto, finding people who are trying to make money in crypto or become a developer or a coder or whatever it is. Reason 4, you don't actually know how to not be broke. If you look at the average lottery winner, they literally lose all their money within a few years. Broke people don't know how to not be broke. They'll not invest any of the money. They won't build any business. They won't provide any value to society. They're not going to put it in anything like stocks or crypto. They're just going to waste it all because the habits that they have in their life from when they were broke carry over into when they're rich. And so if you want any chance to not be broke, you have to change your spending habits. You have to change your investing habits. You have to balance everything out, and you have to spend, save, and invest money like a rich person would. But it's all about moderation. If you win $50 million in the lottery and you spend it all in 5 years, that is not moderation. It doesn't matter how much money I could give you right now. I could give you $100 million right now. But if you don't have the right way to know how to not be broke, all that money is going to go and be spent on something stupid, and you're going to be back at zero. Reason number 5 why you're poor. You consume more than you produce. We live in an attention economy. You're either consuming a piece of content or you're producing a piece of content. Who is the ones making the money? Is it the consumers or the producers? If you make content, you're essentially selling something, you're making money as a business owner or working with a business. If you're consuming content, you're going to be spending money, you're losing money. If you spend all day swiping on TikTok, watching stupid videos of some like purple-haired girl ranting about politics.
So the entire English language doesn't mean anything?
You're consuming useless content that is filling your mind with just crap. So you need to spend your time on producing. How can you add value to the world? How can you help others? How can you learn something that you can pass on to someone and maybe if you want to charge as a service in a business and make money from? You could have taken the 1,000 hours you've spent on TikTok, put those 1,000 hours into learning marketing, and you could be earning 20K a month working for a business right now, running their social medias or doing a high ticket sales job, for example. Your time was not spent on something that will give you a return. You were spending time and it was just disappearing into the void, never to return again. And so now that you understand the top 5 reasons why you're broke, you now have a lot of different points that you can action into your own life to make a big difference. But to get any value from this video, you need to actually do the part which is important, which is taking action. Passive consumption of content on the internet, like this YouTube video, is not going to change your life. Your life will change when you watch something and then implement the lessons that you learned. So when I say stop hanging around with losers and you go, yeah, he's probably right. Stop hanging around with losers. You have to actually change that. You have to actually go out there, get that sales job, start going to the gym, start attending networking events, start joining online communities, and start trying to put yourself in the right places where the right people are. So stop being a passive consumer and start actively implementing these lessons into your life. You could very easily make $1 million in 4 years. Absolutely, it's possible. So thank you for watching the video.